Hey everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Humans of Pesto. Just like always, we're bringing you some more stories of Pesto developers who graduated from Pesto and are doing incredible things. And today we have with us Hitesh Chauhan. And Hitesh graduated from Pesto a year ago. And today he's not just working for an amazing company, but I think there are a lot of stories which really led him to that, which I'm really, really curious to dive into. So welcome, Ritesh. Thank you so much for taking our time. I'm sure you have a busy schedule as well. Thanks for taking our time to share your journey with us.
Yeah, thank you, Ash. Really excited to be here. It's been
amazing. Yeah, long time no see. Huh?
Yeah.
So let's get into first of all, like जितने भी लोग हैं Hitesh, I think a lot of people think कि जो लोग पेस्टो के डेवलपर्स हैं वो एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप के बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं, so on and so forth. So that's why I think the first thing I would love to do is really let you share your background. Where are you from and कैसे पहुंचे आप पेस्टो? क्या करते थे आप उसके पहले?
Yeah, I have a very different background, kind of. I came from MBA background. So before that, I did mechanical engineering, then 2 years of MBA. And after that, I also did sales and marketing for a couple of months. And then more of that, I was always interested in building projects and all those kind of stuff. So in the final year of MBA, I got into building products, I want to build the app. I want to build that kind of stuff. And even I was doing sales and marketing, I was always interested in how to build the app, doing some wireframing and something like that.
And so when did this happen? Which year is this?
It is 2017.
Got it.
So basically, I think I should go back a little bit. So I basically came from a village, and in 2012, I left this and I went to Mumbai for a 5-year integrated course.
Which village are you from, by the way?
It's in Kundal. It's district Rewari, Haryana. And I have no idea. I just want to go outside and explore other opportunities. That here the opportunities are not good. We didn't even know what we should do, in terms of career or professional life, etc. So Mumbai was a very good place. I got this chance. I got into Mumbai is the financial capital, met a lot of people. So it seems to be a good idea when there. But again, college life is always, they don't care much. So I was I was initially focusing on mechanical engineering. And then I have no idea, what should I do? So, I was started preparing for a UPSC. I prepared for 2 years.
Yeah.
With MBA. Wow. Yeah, with MBA, I was preparing for UPSC. And in the final year of MBA, I got this madness, I want to build something, So I left 2 years of preparation of UPSC and I just
basically did everything which a normal, जो track होती है, रास्ता होता है कि यार उसी पे आपको चलना है. If you want to be successful, आपने engineering कर ली, फिर MBA की भी तैयारी चल रही है, UPSC का भी. It's crazy. So आप coding में कैसे घुसे? ये जो product build करने का आपको शौक था, कब लगा?
Yeah, so in the final year, as I said, I wanted to build something. I have no idea how could I build it. So I came back home and I told my parents that I don't have a job and I was preparing for UPSC and I'm not preparing. I want to build the app. And my parents asked how did you make money with that? That was a good VC question, they ask. And then I thought okay, I should find some people freelancer. So I was working with freelancers to, I have this idea, just build me the app. And that was the time when I even when I was going through the product, I was trying to learn the coding, but we have this mindset coding is tough. In my all of my friends, they were saying the coding is tough and you should not spend that much of time and etc. etc. So I thought let's find people who can build the apps. And that was time. But again I worked with them for almost 1 year, and I was kind of we made a lot of mistakes. I made mistakes. They made mistakes. working with freelancers is like no. Like I was very naive. I don't have like a lot of experience. So after 1 year, like we closed the project, and I was kind of pissed off with like I wasted like 1 year, and what should I do? And then like one day, I again like I don't want to move on. Like I just want to keep building. So I thought like let's learn coding and like see how it goes. And then I started with the like right technique, like basic HTML. Coming from MBA background, like learning HTML is pretty easy instead of learning a complex C language or something like that. And then I completely hooked up with like all the kind of stuff, and I just keep learning, and that's how it started.
Yeah, wow, amazing. And उसके बाद आपको पेस्टो के बारे में कब पता चला? Like when did we get in touch?
Yeah. So one of the problem with me was like I learned like every like most of the stuff in like HTML, CSS, React, Node, all this kind of stuff. But whenever I was going for the interview, they are saying like you are coming from MBA background. Like in Indian companies, I went there, so you are coming from MBA background, so you don't have like too many projects, or you don't have this degree or something like that. And so I started working for a like a service-based company for a couple of like 1 year, and I was not happy because they're like they were doing the same stuff that like what I was receiving at that time, like when I was building the product, and I was not like, I should not do this. Like we should learn we should build the good products, not just like because they're giving less money, we should not like ship the stupid product, something like that. And then I was just researching, and the Pesto was basically like I went to their website, and whatever they are like the website they're mentioning, I was like really interested, and I applied for that, and it's like the life-changing experience after that.
Yeah, amazing. No, I'm grateful that you say that, Hitesh, but I think like it's really your hard work which really changed your life, right? And so let's talk about that. That आप Pesto में आए, there are people who are outside Pesto right now who are very little info, and they want to hear from you, right? कि what should you expect if I'm a developer and मैं Pesto join करने का सोच रहा हूँ, what they should expect according to you?
So the most like from personal experience, I would say the mindset, like learning will definitely be there, but more than that, there will be like mindset shift, and that is like really important for if you want to make a good career out of like development, like as a developer. So the mindset was like I when I was going for the interview before Pesto, it was like people will see other stuff, they will not treat you well, like you have this much of experience, or like you doubt yourself, right? Like either you are good or not. And I was coming from like a different background, so it was like very really difficult for me. But after Pesto, like I have this confidence, like hey, I'm a good developer, and either if you are asking if things are not going well, it's not just because of me. It's like the same, like the mindset and the confidence are like the life-changing thing after that. Like I went for the interview, I answered like every questions, and you are like a different person, along with the learning, because the learning that you get during that time, you learn like how to there are a lot of stuff that we learn. Like I think we'll not be able to cover everything, but learning is like so insane. It's so fast paced, and like we met like people there, and they are coming from like different backgrounds, and you just everyone is doing something, so you always like on your knees, okay, this guy is doing this, okay, I should do this, and you have this community. So the overall package that gives like that comes from the Pesto is like you will be a different person after Pesto, and that like that actually make a lot of difference.
Yeah. Amazing. No, that's good to hear. So yeah, curriculum ke, if we talk about like the knowledge sort of which you accumulated here, it's definitely the environment which you push yourselves to the limits. But curious about, if I ask you as like a graduate, and this is for me as well, as much as it is for others, If I have to talk about the three most valuable things in terms of knowledge that you accumulated here, it could be around engineering, it could be around product, it could be anything. What would be those three things?
One thing is like you will be like you will give your best. So in terms of like you will learn the best practices about like software development. Most of most of people already know. Most of people like they don't know about this. So the kind of the best to push towards being a better developer. About like documentations, testing, all those kind of like how to build a best product or give your best whatever you are doing in terms of that. So that's like really like that's really make a like lot of difference. Like when I joined Pesto, I didn't know about like why the testing is that important or not, and the Pesto like kind of like make sure that we build the good software. We learn those stuff. So yeah, that everything around like the in terms of let's say cracking an interview, like your soft skills. We get to know a lot of about soft skills as well. So all those kind of stuffs like made like a lot of difference when you like graduate from Pesto.
Got it. No, amazing. And you talked about documentation, for example, as one of the things, right? And I feel a lot of people actually don't get to the depth of it. Do you want to talk a little bit more on it? Like, what is the importance of documentation? Like, why write that? Your job is to code and make things work, right? But why write a detailed README file, or why spend so much time on documentation or cleaning up, etc.?
Yeah, document like working in like in a startups. Initially, things are like a little bit messy. People have like a different kind of thought process. So it's really important that whatever we are thinking, like if we are solving a problem, okay, we are writing code for that. Like I generally feel that we read code a lot more than like we write over a period of time. So if you are going to like some other person are going to read your code, they should know like what this code is doing, right? So for that, if we link a documentations with that, it's really helpful, like as a team, because you are not going to work alone. There will be a team, and if you write a piece of code, everyone should understand like how does this system works. So for that, the documentation is really helpful. You should if it is like a complex system, how things are working, all those kind of stuff. So it makes the life of other developer easy, and over like for you also, like when you are writing a documentations, it clear out like you can get an idea like how can you improve it further, the things that you build, or the code that you wrote, how can you improve it further. Also, like if there any mistake with that, all that kind of stuff. So documentation is like really helpful.
Amazing. And you ended up doing some open source projects as well, right?
Yeah. I work for I contributed to Material UI.
Amazing.
And yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. Like as a developer, when developers are learning, what do you think? Like how important is open source, and if somebody wants to get started on that journey, how to get started?
So open source give you a very good experience in terms of a code base. If like I came from like I never work a lot on a very big kind of code base. So like when I started working on Material UI, the code base was so insane. I was overwhelmed. So the first thing is like how you understand the whole code base. This kind of learning starts from that, and then the mentor and the people, the community, like in the GitHub, the people talk about how to solve a problem. So the most important thing that I learned in Material UI is like how can you pick a small area as a in the code base, and how can you improve on that instead of like just stuck for like 1 month understanding the whole code base, something like that. Because when you are going to join a company, most probably, or there are chances that their code base will be that mature, So when as a new person you join a company, you might overwhelm. So the open source will give you that kind of benefits where people help you. Like you just make small progress, and over a period of time you will understand the whole code base, and you start making like big impact. There you learn different coding styles because people are working from all around the world. So yeah, that's like really helpful. Like they will like tell you like how can you improve this. Merging a PR is a very big deal in open source. There will be like tons of comments, and that is like the very good learning.
The learning experience there. Yeah.
People are commenting. They are like very. If you go to their GitHub profile, you find like these are very like great developers that you aspire to be or something like that. So yeah, those open source is like kind of help you if you want to keep continuing open source. That's fine, but it will really helpful in when you join a company and start contributing to their code base.
Amazing. What did you do after this? I think this was during the program, right? Like you were learning at Pesto and you were contributing to open source at the same time. Iske baad, how was your experience? I think you ended up building a product as well, right? Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So after Pesto, the corona started. That was the time, and I came back at home, and like me and my friends from the Pesto batch, Kaushik and Rakesh, we always like get in touch, and we were always talking like, let's do something, let's do something. So after Pesto, we keep learning like a lot of other stuff as well, like new technology and all those kind of stuff. And then we started building. We like those people were in Chennai and I was here, and we like came. Those people came back to Noida, and we stayed at one place, and then like started building like a proper startup. This time, like we thought, like let's do a proper startup.
Yes.
Yeah, we build like we were trying to build a community for like the people who are interested in learning. So that was the basic idea. So we learned like at that time we were a developer, so we wanted to do like everything. That's like we will learn as well like we will build the product, something like that. 3 people, day and night coding, and we built the app, and like everything was new. React Native, we built the app in React Native. And that was new to me. Others, we choose the technology like new technology so that we will learn this technology as well. And that was very good experience. Like staying with Pesto community and building stuff.
Amazing. Yeah. And what was your experience doing that? I think there are a ton of learnings in that process as well, right? Like as you're building that side project or a startup. And then I guess like when you came back to interview for a lot of other companies, all of you guys were suddenly like, sort of really high in demand, right? And I think the difference which I could really, see in your approach was being organized. There's something which changed, right? In that approach. What was that?
So like we had like a lot of like tons of learning in Pesto, right? After that, if we started doing projects, so we are doing like the application, we are kind of whatever we learned, we are just implementing that. So we like initially like we are doing it as a startup, so we are learning, we are going through a lot of YC videos, Y Combinator videos, like how the startups works and all those kind of stuff. So we are not just, so the mistakes that I made in the initial, like when I started alone, we thought like we should not make this. So we spent a lot of time understanding the idea, like solving a problem, all the kind of stuff. And we are just making like step by step, we are organizing like everything, like first, like let's make the idea clear, what we want to build it, and then next step will be the technology that we are going to build it, and then that was like a very good decision. It was not like we are comfortable with this technology, we should go with that. We choose like what is the best at that time, like the thing we learned in the Pesto, choosing the right technology is really important. So we like spend a couple of time. We learned like everything new in that. Like I personally learned everything new. because that was also a going forward, like keep learning whatever we learn in the past, to just keep learning, and something like that. Um, the project was like will help, like the project help us in terms of what kind of the problem solving, like how we go about a big problem and break it down and just keep building it. And like we are basically owning everything, like all three people are trying to do their best and like just keep doing that. uh, the project also help us, like for example, in after the project, okay, I went for the interview, and I had like too many things to talk about that, and that wouldn't happen without project. In the interview, like every interview, people were very excited to hear about like what you did. They're really excited about that. So if you don't do these kind of projects, you don't have like you don't have like too many things to talk. And in interviews, it's really important that you have too many things to talk about it. Then you will be, the person will be interested in you, and like you will talk like normally. It will not feel like an interview.
Absolutely.
That's actually happened. Like, hey, you work on this. Okay, what did you do? Why did you do this? Those kind of things. And it was like the interview was like we're talking to our friends, and like it was like at that time we realized that doing projects was like why it was so important. Every interview, you can see the spark in their eyes. Like the person who is talking to you.
Yes.
Okay, we are using the same technology. Okay, you work on this. What kind of problem that you face? So if you are talking to a technical person, they will ask about the technology that you use, the problem that you faced. Hey, we faced this problem. How did you solve this? If you're talking to like a non-technical person, they will talk about like why did you choose this idea? If you talk to a marketing person, like how did you market this? So it's like a whole experience that you get.
Absolutely. And that's how it should be, because I think like more than, I know like a lot of people who look at Pesto from outside, they think like get into Pesto and make a lot of money. That's what it really, first of all, like what do you have to say to them? And I think like second of all, I really feel that there's a lot more than that. I think it's more about the kind of people you get to work with, the kind of gates that you unlock, and the kind of person you become in years to come, right? So it's more like a journey. What I'm really excited about is Hitesh in 2025. What will Hitesh be doing, right? I think that's what really excites me the most. So, any message which you have to share with people who come in with that mindset?
Oh, so first of all, like you will, the money is not going to be a problem because you will learn too many things, but your mindset will be a different, maybe you join Pesto with like, you will get a lot of salary, but the Pesto will change that mindset definitely. And you will be like a very, the confident person, like you will always be, hey, how to solve this problem, I want to do something, the kind of, the entrepreneurial mindset you will get after Pesto, that is like that will basically put you in the next couple of years, how you're going to do it. So maybe after Pesto you get a job, but still you have this thing. You will be like a founder. Even if you're an engineer, you have this mindset, how you're going to build stuff. All these things are like will be in your mind, and definitely the skills, the kind of skills that you will have getting a job, or all those kind of stuff. If you keep working on that, you will definitely be successful. So don't need to worry about that.
Absolutely. And you talked about conversations with people from marketing, from product, from design, from business, all of those things, right? And I think like that is one of the things which we care about a lot as well, right? Like knowing those things. You don't really have to do those things. It's not your job, but knowing those things just helps you have much better conversations and collaborate with people, especially in a remote environment, right? But remote or not, just collaborating with your peers just goes a very, very long way. How has been that experience in knowing things apart from engineering? Has that been helpful to you? And what's the impact on the job which you're having?
So yeah, as you said, like having a conversation, like if you learn a little bit about sales, like even if you don't want to learn it, you just need to understand the dynamics, like how it works, how the product management is work, because most probably you are going to have interviews with like multiple people, so everyone is not going to be a technical guy. So it's really important that you understand, like if you're going to do a startups, then you understand the whole dynamics, like how the sales is going to work, how the design team is working, all those kinds of stuff. So one of the interesting thing happened is like for us, like how did you manage? People generally used to ask like, your app is looking good, your app is have a good design, like how did you do that? And that conversation started with like, then we tell like we are looking for hiring a designer, but they are like we were not satisfied, and then we just sit together and we just list down the best practices of UI and like what kind of tools that we used, and that basically, then if that conversations started, and then basically what happened is, hey, we are gonna right now the interview will share their thing, like hey, we are also implementing, we are also redoing the design, and you have done this. Then you will see the benefits. Okay, this is I did, and now this is like helping. You have like the plus point in your favor at that time. So those kind of stuff, if you don't do this, then it's like you don't have those kind of things to share, like to make an impact in the interview and
Absolutely.
Kind of stuff. And even like if you are doing the job actually, you will. So for example, if you don't like if you're not taking like UI seriously or something like that, like in the actual job, people will like revert back, like, hey, improve this, you do something, hey, improve this. And if you have done this as as your own project, then you will feel like, hey, I can improve this. So you will keep doing this, you will give your best, and the kind of back and forth will not happen. They will be really happy of like the output that you provide to them.
Yeah. So a failed startup can very often lead to a really, really good career, right? So it's not really failure.
Definitely. Like I'll share one thing also. Like, so what happened is like it's in my college. My friends got my friends got the job. Okay, the package was around like 6-7 something like that at the time, and the first startup that I was doing after college, 1 year I wasted. And like everyone was saying that, hey, you wasted 1 year and like you have like one gap year in your CV. And I was like, what the hell is gap year in your CV? And you will not get a good job or something like that. And then there was a startups in Gurgaon, and he offered, like, we interviewed over the phone, and he was so happy, like all the things that I did in the past 1 year, and he instantly offered me a job. Okay, and the package was around, like, I think 11 lakh or something like that. So I basically jumped my friends, they were getting 6-7 lakh, and at the 11 lakh, and they were like insane, man. Like, how did you do this? And then like when I was doing like 1 year, they are thinking that I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting, I'm just wasting my time, all those kind of stuff. So this is like my personal learning, even if you do the projects, we all know that like the dots will connect, you just have to keep doing that. And if you are not always sure like what the future will, but you just keep working hard, be consistent, don't just give up in the middle or something like that. You will do like different side.
Absolutely. And where are you working currently? Tell us more about that. How is your life looking like right now after all of those things? Like, you came from mechanical background, you dropped a year, you left MBA and sort of exam preparations, and then you did a startup, and then you joined Pesto, and then you did another startup which failed. And then you ended up working at Index, which is one of my favorite partners. Xavier is dear to me. I'm sure you're having fun there, but tell us more about that. How's your life in the post-Pesto universe?
So like one of the more like professional life definitely changed, but the best to make it like an impact in the personal life also. Like I've been away from home for the past like 10 years. So I came back here, like staying with the family, and the index, like working with index is like really like, it's exactly like 1 year. I joined index like 15th Feb. And
Amazing.
so exactly 1 year, like the year passed like very fast. Enjoyed a lot actually. The whole team is amazing, and I'm giving time to my family also here. In the last 1 year, I never like I attended so much of marriage that I never attended like in my whole life.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I missed a lot of weddings, but now like I attended a lot of wedding. I like going out, like spending time with like school friends, and like I'm really happy.
That's amazing. You talked about your personal life changing in what ways? Do you have any stories you want to share with people?
Yeah, like I always like my parents, like everyone, just like my dream was just to get a job, before going, I just get a job of 50K or something like that. Do we give that number? We have this thing. And when I came, like when I got this job, I never for like I was very happy. My family was happy because I was doing so many random stuff that my parents actually gave up on me. Like he's not going to do anything. And after this job, then they also realized, okay, whatever he was doing, it's like it's good. And then they like I came back here. I bought my first car. Like
wow, congratulations, dude!
First car in the family, so it was like a very big moment for me.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's like. Now I'm like very confident, like if I wake up in the morning, I'm happy with the work that I'm doing. Also like I'm very positive about the future, like whatever I'm going to do is like really important to me, and those kind of stuff. It's not like any like it's not like you wake up in the morning and you're not happy with what you're going to do it. So I'm like super positive, super confident, and that's like really important right now.
That is amazing. So good to hear, man. I'm so proud. I feel great when I hear these stories, and I know what it means to really, get back to home and do all of this. So where are you staying right now? You're back at in your village?
Yeah, I came back at like my hometown village. It's in Rewari. So like I bought the car because of like I want to travel a little bit. Like the transportation is not that good, so that was the thing. My parents were really happy when I bought the car.
That is amazing. Which car did you end up buying?
It's a Renault Kiger.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm super happy for you, man. And I think working from Rewari for a company in Silicon Valley, which is doing some disruptive stuff, that's insane. That's the value of hard work and what people call failures. It's actually learnings, and I guess you're a living proof of that. So super happy for that. Any advice which you would have for people who are currently in the Pesto program or who are about to graduate? People like that?
Yeah, sure. So, like if you the one thing as a developer is like or like if you're going to join a company or something like that, just try to be like, if you're working in a team, just be humble, like if you know something, and like my team, like everyone is so like I'm so grateful like working with them, and I learned this thing from them. Some of them like they know a lot more than me, but they are always humble. So be humble, don't be a jerk.
That's rule number one, right?
Yeah, don't be a jerk. People will like, if you know something, it's good. And then second thing is like sometimes there is a confusion, like you're confused about like what is going to happen. Just keep doing what you're doing, don't just give up in the middle. Just just keep improving your skills, over a period of time. If you learn something in Pesto, just build on top of that. Just keep building projects, and just be in a good, like the Pesto provides the community. So just hang out with them, like the same mindset. And we are like all of our batchmates, most of our batchmates are like, we are in contact. And so that's like, yeah, that's really helpful. Yeah.
That is amazing. So good to hear, man. I think that is pretty cool. Any advice for junior software developers who are trying to make it in their careers? What would you advise them to do?
Junior developer or like any developer, kind of like as a remote job, or not like a even if you are even if you are going to work like not remote. So one thing is like give your best. Like one problem that I faced in my initial when I was learning or when I was building stuff is that if there is a problem, don't just stuck with that. Don't just like try to make it perfect. Just give your best. And then ask people, ask people about the feedback. Hey, I wrote this piece of code. Do you think it's good? Or like, this is what I'm thinking. And you have to talk, you have to like, I generally used to do that. Like I stuck and I just waste 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and just doing the same stuff. But because when you talk to other people, you have like different ideas. So also like this will help you to, understand, or it will help you to break your cycle. If you're solving a problem, again, you're going in the same way. If you talk to people about your solutions, about the thing that you are trying to do, it will really help. But also there is one thing is sometimes I saw people, they don't even try, and they just ask people how to solve this problem, and that's not good. When you are asking questions, make sure that you spend some time researching about the solution. Otherwise people will help you once, twice, thrice, but then they will stop. As I said earlier, they will stop like spoon feeding the solution to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really important. And in like remote work is also like people will not be available to you. So don't just don't just stuck with the tutorials, going through that. Just if you face a problem, write the code, okay, and then show the code whenever people are available to you, or whoever like can help you with that. Don't just keep thinking, try to make it perfect.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Hitesh, for all of those advices. I think it really comes from a very authentic place, with purely from your experiences. And I think it's been a delight to, watch your journey from the front seat. And I am pretty confident that we have a lot more to come from you in next coming years. And I'm really excited to, sort of see that journey unfold. Thank you so much again for taking our time. And I'm sure people are going to like this. And if anyone has any questions from Hitesh, we'll be doing an AMA with Hitesh on our Discord community. And you can also feel free to ask him questions in the comments down below, and we'll convey the link to Hitesh to make sure that he answers some of your questions. So thank you again, Hitesh, for coming here. And we will keep bugging you as you keep learning more, and we'll push you to share more of those stuff with us here.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Likewise, man. After such a long time. Thanks for coming.